What's going on here? Is this gonna come in and replace everyone that does everything creative, or what's your take on this?
No, not at all. In fact, I actually just got back from a giving a talk to the Hollywood Professional Association, which is pretty much a lot of the key leaders from film studios, the technical side of things. So it was like literally, I make the joke, it was literally everyone from Adobe to Zeiss lenses. So like legitimately A to Z. And no, everyone there, it was funny because walking into it, I was a little worried that it was going to be, oh, here comes the AI guy, and I'm just going to get, tomatoes thrown at me. But no, there really isn't a lot of fear there. It's a lot of people trying to figure out how we're going to incorporate all of this stuff into existing pipelines. And I think everyone there realizes that, despite a lot of like media coverage of doom and gloom, I don't think anyone there is expecting to lay off, 90% of their staff and just use AI tools. I think what they're looking to do is to be able to really have their teams, work more efficiently and, work and honestly, I mean, work less or, do more with less, basically, is what
Mhm.
it comes down to, be able to be more effective essentially, and not have somebody doing a pointless task for 8 hours, not a pointless I should say, but a very manual, labor intensive task for 8 hours when they could actually be doing something possibly more creative for 8 hours.
So in other words, if I'm hearing you, and tell me, it's getting the tools to help bring the vision to life rather than taking so long to bring the vision to life.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of just really tedious processes sometimes, like rotoscoping, which is literally the act of like drawing a person out of a frame, and then the next frame you sort of have to do it again. The next frame, and then that way you can change out a green screen to put them into a Star Wars movie or whatever it may be. And by using AI tools, we can expedite that process like to like half an hour, less than that, 20 minutes or so.
Mm.
So what does that person do now? Well, that person um, can now is now freed up to be able to work on other things like designing the background, that sort, like just basically being able to work in a more creative area, as opposed to sort of those just I don't want to say, because it's technical, I don't want to call it menial necessarily, but
Mhm.
like tedious work, I should say.
Mhm. Yeah, the stuff where there's not a lot of creative uh, energy required. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. What has this done to accelerate your process? What are kind of the top few areas where you've gone from tedious and slow to fast and better?
Right. So I am a one man shop here. It's me and the dog. Basically, I at some point I may have to pick your brain in learning how to scale up a bit. I still haven't wrapped my head around that part of it. But I mean, even just from a production side, Adobe has put a new AI tool inside. I edit in a program called Premiere, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware of. So they've actually put a lot of really cool smart audio tools into that, where I don't know when you record how long it generally takes you, but embarrassingly it could take me like 2 hours to record like 10 minutes of video, only because I'm like, what am I saying? I should script probably better, but a lot of times I'm sort of figuring it out on the fly as I'm talking. So I'll start a sentence, no, that's not quite what I want to say, stop, start again, midway through decide, oh, scrap that, and on it goes. So now I can just hit record, just kind of keep the whole thing going, ramble into my microphone, and then bring it into Premiere. And with one click, it will literally remove every silence that I put in there. So as long as I take a pause between my thoughts and I get into editing, all I have to do is run to the very last segment of each area and go like, that's the correct take, that's the correct take. So I mean,
Mhm.
literally it has taken my editing down from, you know 2 or 3 hours to what's called an A cut, like basically just, just your talking head stuff, to like, a quarter of that. So it's sped up my process tremendously.
Mm. And
I
what
mean, not
about
the
in the
most exciting AI, like tool, but it is actually honestly one of the ones that has been most useful to me. So
Yeah, especially if you're editing video.
Hmm.
What about in the creation of the video, and how are you using this to help you with the creative ideas?
Sure. So, a lot of times with as you're editing, a lot of times you will come across something where you're going to want to be in a show, not say, or show and say, I should say. So you're
Mhm.
talking about something, you want to be able to cut to something and have footage of whatever you're talking about. So the video generators are really fantastic at that part of it, where say I am talking about a California sunset, and instead of rolling out to a stock library, having to try to find the shot that I'm looking for, I can just generate it, and then
Mm.
bring it in that way.